everyone, I have a dose for you, and the dose today is bedtime routine. So, this is inspired by my own personal need to get better sleep. And we need our sleep more than ever right now for our vitality and to keep our immune system strong. So, this all came about because, the bedtime routine I've developed because I was having trouble sleeping for a little over a year. And so I think I've pretty much struck a balance that works much better, at least better than it did, when the problems started occurring, which would be waking up and not being able to get back to sleep. So let me just talk about some of the essentials. Number one is eliminating stimulating activities, foods, and beverages at least a few hours, 3 to 4 hours before bed. Things like alcohol, chocolate, coffee, all those kind of stimulants don't promote happy, deep sleep. Conversely, things like sipping lavender or chamomile or a blend of those teas really helps. Things like the environment of the bedroom, it should be cool. It should be very dark. It's not dark right now, but this is being shot during the day. Those blinds will be pulled, lights out, and I often, every day wear a sleep mask that has a band that goes all the way around my head, and that helps block light further. So coolness. These are my around the house pajamas, not my bedtime pajamas, because these are way too hot. So wearing really light clothing to bed helps me sleep better too and keep the proper temperature. Another great thing for bedtime is eliminating stimulating activities that include screen time, intense conversations. I don't talk on the phone in the evening, really not past 6 or 7 usually, at least a couple hours before bedtime anyway. And then also it helps me to do some journaling, a brain dump, getting out all the things that might be cluttering my mind and getting in the way of sleep. I don't always feel like journaling, so the next part of the routine has to do with positions. It's called bedtime restorative yoga. I'm going to show you right on the bed today because I figure you don't all have props at home, but you all have pillows at home and you have a bed, so this can be done right on your own bed before bed. And so when I'm really tired, don't feel like journaling, I just do this on my bed. And I use the time, the thinking mind that's really active, I do some of that brain dump while I'm in these poses. So a lot of times we think of quieting the mind, we have to get the mind totally empty. That's not realistic. That's not how minds work. You should think of it as a time and a lot of time to let your mind do that sorting, okay? It's like getting it all out, using a specific amount of time and let it run wild. Let yourself watch the show of your thoughts and give yourself attention, right? Being tender with yourself and attention, tender and attention have the same root. So you're tending to yourself, you're letting yourself get free of some of the wildness of your mind, okay? You could also use some of that time or this time of the restorative poses to focus on gratitude, things you're also grateful for. It's not all terrible, right? There's a lot of good still in your life, including your health and well-being. So I'm going to get right down to it. This first one, if Grady lets me do it, is standing right up against the bed. So your feet will be on the floor. I'm going to reach over for one pillow because the top of my bed doesn't quite hit the very top of my thighs. So I'm going to put the pillow against the top of my thighs. I'm going to feel really planted in my feet, and then I'm going to bend from my hips and let my head and tail get really elongated, right? So tail going back, head going forward. I'm going to extend my arms, and my chest is a little lifted. And you could also just stack your hands and put your forehead straight down on your hands. So the idea is to Get elongated and breathe. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel your front body supported. Feel your head supported by your hands or the bed. And breathe. When you're ready to come out, bring your arms back, push them into the bed, and let your head come back over your tail. Right? Forward bends are very calming to the mind, and it's really nice to start with an elongated shape for the spine. Okay? Now, next one, I am going to hop up on the bed. I'm using a down pillow right now. I like this one for this first two poses because it gives quite a bit. The next one is I'm going to be kneeling over this pillow, and I'm going to lie down over it, belly down, and extend all the way. And then second to that, I'm going to curl to one side. So watch, elbow comes down and same side leg comes up. My other arm's reaching, and I'm just curling into one side. So one side of the body is really compressed, and the other side is elongated. I'm going to give you a shot of that to the other side. Okay, now that one and any of these, how long should we do them? I would say go by feel. When you feel ready to change position, just do it. Or you could set a timer, 2 to 5 minutes maybe, a minute on each side. You know, you just kind of have to play with it. I have fallen asleep in this pose and not known how long I was in it. That just tells me it was the right thing to do. It was perfectly fine. Just do it on both sides, okay? So that's a really nice way to balance left and right side of the body and get this support from the front body support from the pillows moving up against you. All right, now this next one may or may not be for you. It is my personal favorite bedtime pose. I'm going to add a pillow. This is a really thick, sturdy one. I'm going to put my down one over it. Now, if you can't flex your hips and your knees really deeply like this is not the pose for you. And if that's the case, I'll have another one you can do after this. So basically, you just want to sit on your bottom, or sit your bottom on your heels and rest over it. This is supported child's pose. So I'm going to have my head turned to one side and focus on breathing. Now this one is really superior if you're feeling really vulnerable. All right, it's like a child curling up, little baby, and you've got like a hug from these pillows coming up and supporting all your soft spots. Okay? So this is a really good one to do when you want to sort out your really maybe sad or vulnerable or disheartened feelings. Very tender. Child's pose, all right? Be sure you turn your head. You want to give equal time to both sides. And don't be in a hurry in that one if you can do it, okay? Now, conversely, like I said, if you can't flex deeply in your hips and your knees like that, this next one is super. We've done this in class a lot. So I'm going to kneel over my big sturdy pillow. I'm going to lengthen head to tail, and I've got the pillow right at the top or could be the bottom of your breastbone. You could stack your hands, legs are extended, they're slightly turned out, and just kind of draping over the other end of the pillow, and head straight down. I love to work on breathing in this one, where I just inhale through my nostrils and exhale, sighing out through my mouth. You know, it's like letting go of the day, letting go of the hard feelings, and not trying to push anything away, just giving time and space for all of yourself to be exactly as you are, all right? So that's another one of my favorite bedtime poses. If I was only going to do two, it would be those two. All right, now lastly, this one you might really enjoy. I'm going to use two biggest pillows on the bed. So I've got one big pillow, another big pillow. I'm going to kind of stagger them. And for this one, I'm going to lay completely on my back. And I've got that one up under my knees, and then my forelegs are kind of draped, but they're still supported. I really think it's important that you don't have your feet up and dangling. Give them something that they can feel that there is support. And then stretch back. I don't have another pillow on my head, but if your head is dropping back, you would want to support it a little bit. But I'm pretty level here. So this might be your final one, where you're maybe sorting through the day and all the good that happened. You know, there's always good stuff. Empty yourself out. You might go to sleep in it. So eventually you get yourself together so you can actually get under the covers. Or maybe you're not quite ready and you want to do a little reading, quiet, calming reading, nothing too stimulating, no newspapers. So I hope that this inspires you to do some bedtime routine. You don't have to do the whole thing. If you saw one that looked interesting and you're not even sure why, try that one. That might be just the one you need. And also, if you have any questions, you could write them in on the comment box below, and I will get back to you. So enjoy your dose. Thank you for being with me.